When people hear the phrase, Ital living, many immediately think of food. They imagine a Rasta plate filled with vegetables, no meat, no salt, no additives. And while food is certainly part of it, Ital living is much deeper than diet alone. Ital is not a trend. It is not a health phase. It is not something adopted for aesthetics. Ital living is a spiritual philosophy rooted in the Rastafari movement, shaping how one eats, thinks, moves, and relates to the world. It is about alignment with nature, with the body, and with the Most High. So today, we're going to slow down and go deeper. Here are 7 things you may not know about Ital living in the Rasta movement. Number 1. Ital comes from the word vitel. This is one of the most important things to understand, and it is often overlooked. The word Ital is derived from the English word vitel. Vital meaning essential to life, necessary for growth, required for survival. When Rastafari elders began using the term Ital, they were not simply creating a label for food. They were expressing a philosophy that centers life force. Anything that supports life is Ital. Anything that weakens life is not. So Ital food is food that still carries life energy, food that is close to the earth, food that has not been stripped, altered, or chemically interfered with. But Ital living goes beyond what enters the mouth. It extends to thoughts, actions, habits, and environments. If something drains your spirit, dulls your awareness, or disconnects you from nature, it is not Ital. If something strengthens your body, sharpens your mind, and aligns you with creation, it is Ital. This is why Ital living cannot be reduced to a strict rule book. It is guided by consciousness, not control. Number 2, Ital living is about purity, not perfection. There is a common misconception that Ital living requires rigid rules and flawless discipline. That one mistake somehow invalidates the practice. But in Rastafari reasoning, Ital is not about being perfect. It is about being intentional. It is about choosing purity where possible, choosing simplicity where available, choosing awareness over habit. Some Rastas eat fully plant-based. Some include fish. Some avoid salt entirely. Some use natural salt sparingly. The key difference is not uniformity. It is reasoning. Food is prepared with care. Ingredients are chosen with awareness. Cooking is not rushed or careless. Ital cooking is often slow, grounded, and respectful. The person preparing the food understands that energy transfers through intention. This is why many Rastas say food should be cooked with clean hands and a calm spirit. Because what you feel while preparing food becomes part of what another person consumes. So Ital living does not demand perfection. It demands consciousness. Number 3, Ital living is resistance to Babylon systems. One of the deeper layers of Ital living is its role as quiet resistance. In Rastafari, Babylon represents systems that exploit, poison, and control. This includes food systems that prioritize profit over health, processed foods, artificial additives, chemical preservatives, genetically altered substances. These are not seen as neutral conveniences. They are viewed as tools of disconnection. When someone chooses Ital living, they are reclaiming sovereignty over their body. They are refusing to be dependent on systems that profit from sickness. Growing food, buying from local farmers, preparing meals from raw ingredients. These acts may seem small, but they are powerful. Ital living says, my body is not a dumping ground. My health is not for sale. My nourishment is sacred. This is why Ital living has always been connected to self-sufficiency and independence. To eat Ital is to reduce dependence on Babylon. To live Ital is to think independently. Number 4, Ital living includes mental and spiritual diet. Another thing many people don't realize is that Ital living applies to the mind as much as the body. Just as processed food dulls the body, toxic information dulls the mind. Rastafari elders often speak about guarding what enters the consciousness. Violent imagery, constant negativity, fear-based messaging, material obsession. These things are not Ital. Ital reasoning encourages mindfulness about what you consume mentally. What music are you listening to? What messages are you repeating? What beliefs are shaping your decisions? If the mind is constantly fed confusion, the spirit becomes restless. If the mind is fed truth, the spirit becomes grounded. This is why chanting, drumming, scripture reading, and meditation are often part of Ital living. They are spiritual nourishment. So Ital is not only about what is on the plate, it is about what is in the heart and the mind. Number 5, Ital living connects directly to African ancestral practices. Long before the Rastafari movement emerged in Jamaica, African cultures practiced forms of natural living rooted in harmony with the land. Food was seasonal, ingredients were local, preparation was communal. There was understanding that food carried spiritual significance. Ital living reconnects with this ancestral memory. It honors the earth as provider. It respects cycles of growth and rest. It acknowledges that health is communal, not individual. When Rastas speak about Ital living, they are not inventing something new. They are remembering something old, something that existed before colonization disrupted natural relationships between people and their land. This is why Ital living is often spoken of as a return, not a trend, a return to balance, a return to roots, a return to natural law. Number 6, Ital was here long before vegan was a thing. In recent years, veganism has become widely popular. It is discussed in documentaries, promoted on social media, and marketed as a modern lifestyle choice. But what many people do not realize is this: Ital living existed long before veganism had a name, a label, or an industry around it. When Rastafari elders practiced Ital living, they were not following trends. They were not responding to health fads. They were not influenced by Western diet movements. They were reasoning from spirituality. Ital living was never about identity branding. It was about natural law. The removal of meat, additives, and artificial substances was rooted in the belief that the body is sacred, that what enters the body affects the spirit, that food should sustain life, not burden it. While veganism often focuses on ethics, environmental impact, or animal rights, Ital living focuses on vitality, purity, and alignment with Jah. This is an important distinction. A person can be vegan and still consume highly processed foods. A person can be vegan and still eat things that carry little life energy. But Ital living asks a deeper question. Is this food alive? Is it natural? Is it clean? Does it support balance? So while there are similarities between Ital and vegan diets, Ital living is not derived from veganism. Veganism came later. Ital living stands on its own foundation, spiritual, ancestral, and intentional. Understanding this helps separate Ital from modern labels and returns it to its rightful place, not as a trend, but as a way of life that predates modern diet culture entirely. Number 7, Ital living is a lifelong journey, not a destination. Perhaps the most important thing to understand is that Ital living is not something you complete. There is no final stage, no certificate, no endpoint. Ital living evolves as the individual evolves. As knowledge deepens, choices change. As awareness grows, discipline strengthens. Someone may begin by removing processed foods. Later, they may grow their own herbs. Later still, they may simplify their entire lifestyle. This is natural progression. Ital living teaches patience. It teaches humility. It teaches respect for the process. Just as growth in nature cannot be rushed, growth in consciousness unfolds in time. And this is the heart of Ital living. Not restriction, not punishment, but alignment. Alignment with life. Alignment with nature. Alignment with the divine. So when you hear the words Ital living, remember this. It is not just food. It is vital living, life-centered living, conscious living. It is a quiet revolution rooted in simplicity, intention, and respect for creation. And once understood, Ital living is not something you adopt. It is something you live. So there you have it. 7 things you didn't know about Ital living in the Rasta movement. Which one resonated with you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Reasoning builds understanding, and understanding builds community. If this message connected with you, take a moment to support the channel, like the video so the knowledge can reach further. Share it with someone who may benefit from deeper insight. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more Rasta educational content rooted in truth, culture, and consciousness. Give thanks for the time, the presence, and the shared journey. Until the next reasoning, stay grounded, stay aware, and stay blessed.